On this week's episode of the Crushing Debt Podcast, emergency funds and emergency snacks. So welcome back to this week's episode of the Crushing Debt Podcast. My name is Shawn Yesner, owner and founder of Yesner Law, and I'm joined in studio by your financial coach, George Corbello. How you doing, George?
Doing well. I have to say, I've survived the season of graduation. Very proud to say. Now I get to survive the next season, which, we have hurricane season coming, but I still have, grad school and undergrad school that I still have to manage too. So there's a lot of seasons there too.
I forgot to buy stock in Kleenex before all the graduation ceremonies.
I tell you, it was fun. It was nice. It was beautiful. They had great speeches. I have to say, I don't miss, can I just say, my goodness, there's so many kids graduating. It was like 1,000 names we had to read. I have to give credit to the announcers with cum laude and this person and masters in this. I was like, wow, it was amazing. It was amazing.
So funny story. My high school had about 4,100 kids in it. And at the time, high school was just 10, 11, 12.
Wow.
So that didn't include ninth grade. So there were a ton of people at the high school graduation. Obviously, college, I went to FSU. There were thousands of people at the college graduation. My law school class started just over 200, and around 180 of us graduated from that class, from law school. And so I remember, they said, hold your applause until all of the kids go across the stage, and then we'll applaud all of them together. Well, Yesner, I'm typically at the back of the line.
You're not first?
I'm typically at the end, and I happen to be the last one alphabetically. And so when they called my name and I started to walk across the stage, I started hyping up the crowd and, come on, let's go. And everyone started clapping. And
love it.
Everyone thought it was because there was nobody after me.
So you're the guy.
Go ahead and applaud. You heard my name. Now everybody applaud me.
You are now allowed.
And everybody, we got a kick out of that. Can I tell you, can I tell the listeners, as much as I make fun of girl math, can I tell the listeners my girl math story?
I think you have a good story here that is close to boy math as you can go.
So, for those who don't know, I have become a watch enthusiast. And part of it is because I bought for myself two nice watches. One was a Breitling, one was a Rolex Submariner. It's the Kermit Rolex Submariner. So it's metal watch, black face, and then the hunter green bezel, the thing that
very
the
nice
dial.
Yep,
gorgeous watches.
Just to let everybody know, he is ecstatic right now. His face
he's
over the moon right now. But continue, Shawn.
I'm over the moon right now. And then when my father passed away, he had 9 high-end watches in his collection, and so I gave one to my best man, who was also like a son to him. I gave one to my uncle, his younger brother, and then I have the rest of them. And now I'm learning that high-end watches require servicing, much like a car does.
Yeah.
So my Breitling, which was probably near 20 years old, and one of my dad's watches weren't working. So I took them into the mall here. There's a Mayer's jeweler attached to a Rolex jeweler in the mall here, and then there's a specific Breitling jeweler in the mall. So I took the watches in, sent them off for service. The Breitling dealer, when the watch came back, said, "This is a really nice piece." I said, "Thank you. It's the first one I ever bought."
Sure.
And they said, "Well, you can trade it in, and we'll give you store credit towards a brand new watch."
Of course, I love this. Where this is already headed. So give me some boy math, my friend.
So I don't know that I necessarily want to go over numbers with everybody.
Just carry the one.
But I got a discount. They gave me store credit for the watch that I had serviced, and so I got a discount on the new watch based on the trade-in of the old watch. Again, much like a car.
Yep.
And then I'm like, but I still got to pay the rest of the balance. And I was talking to my mom about it. Well, the store also paid the cost of the service as part of me trading in the watch.
Sure.
Had I not traded in the watch, I would have had to pay for the service. But they paid for the service. The watch also needed a brand new watch band. I tend to move towards metal watch bands because the leather watch bands,
it's just
when you sweat, I just tend to eat them up. And so it's going to be another probably around $500 to replace the leather watch band. So I'm talking to my mom and I'm saying, I don't know if I want to pay that big of a gulf between the credit they give me for the old watch and the cost of the new watch.
Sure.
And my mom said, so I guess it does relate back to girl math. My mom said, well, wait a minute, you're not going to have to pay the servicing and you're not going to have to pay for the new band, right? And I said, well, right, it's still money. She said, but that's money out of your pocket either way.
Right.
Whether you pay for the service or
you
whether you pay for the new watch,
sure.
that's money already spent, which again further reduces the value of the watch. They offered 18 months, 0% interest financing.
Okay.
I put down a down payment to get the payments where I want. I can pay off the watch early if I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I am now the proud owner of a brand new Breitling
Very
watch.
nice.
Traded
Very
in my
nice.
old. I've been staring at it all day.
I can imagine that, they had a nice big sign there and like discount, buy one, get one. No, I'm just kidding. But this was, but again, it's are you happy with the purchase? I guess there you go. So a little bit of a gift for you. Obviously, you now have another debt that we need to manage. So I will talk to you afterward about how to.
I've got to. I have.
But it is 0%. So
I have some money coming to me from my wife's estate,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's the reason I did the 0% financing. So once I get some of that money from her estate, there's some stuff that I want to do to the house that I need to do to the house.
Sure.
And then there'll be some money left over, and I'll just pay off the watch.
There you go.
But this gives me a little bit of breathing room to, I've got now. I know the money's coming sooner than 18 months, but now I've got 18 months to get some of the money in from my wife's estate.
I mean, so it's basically free. You got it for free.
So girl math, I got a free watch.
Nice. We got to start somewhere. I like that. That's pretty good.
So,
but as long as you're happy, I love the fact that it's a beautiful watch. Maybe we have to have you post a little picture out on the Yesner site. But say it's definitely a beautiful watch.
I'm showing the camera now. So those of you that watch behind the Patreon one.
I love it. Love it.
Watch. So. This episode's going to come out the very, very beginning of June, and you know what June is.
Is it rabbit season or bats?
Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season.
We're old. Okay, we're old, but that's okay. If you don't know that, that's we're old people. It is hurricane season, my friend. I believe here in Florida, and obviously from a Gulf Coast standpoint, it is hurricane season, and we get to enjoy hurricane season for quite a few months. So do I get to panic and run around with like a chicken without a head? How's that work again now this time of year?
So hurricane season starts June 1.
Mm-hmm.
You know when it ends, by the way.
Sometime in October or November or something like that?
October 17, FSU versus Miami. That's when,
that's important. Got it.
That's when hurricane season ends.
Gotcha. That's a very big game, too. That's really good.
No. So
holy moly.
I am a native Floridian.
Mm-hmm.
I've grown up in and around hurricanes.
Yep.
I've dealt with my share of hurricanes before.
Sure.
And, I tend not to panic. I take them seriously. I clean up my back patio. I remove anything that can fly around. I make sure, and we're going to go through some prep here too. And we've also got, we've got another podcast episode that I did with Rich Fika from an insurance perspective.
Right.
He gave some tips on hurricane preparedness a couple years ago. So I'll look up that episode here in a minute. But I tend not to panic because the challenge that I have with hurricanes is that they're unpredictable. You never know. You've got a good idea, but you never really know where they're going to go. I mean, I remember years and years and years ago, there was one that was supposed to come right up the mouth of Tampa Bay and basically decimate the entire Tampa Bay area. And at the very, very last minute, it cut into the state of Florida right at Port Charlotte and missed Tampa entirely.
Correct.
I remember there was one storm. My wife was panicking. It's come, and it might have been even the same storm. Mm-hmm. It's coming right for us. We need to get out of here. And I kept saying, "Honey, they're unpredictable. Where are you going to go? We can go to Orlando. We can go to Miami. We can go to Atlanta. We can go here. We can go there." Well, number one, everyone else that's panicking thinks that way, so the roads are packed.
Yep, that's one.
Number two, once the hurricane clears, it's then the roads are packed getting back into town.
Get back. Yeah.
For this particular storm, we didn't leave. Now I know in my house, I know the areas. What you're supposed to do is find a room in your house that has no windows. That way, if the windows happen to blow out, you're still relatively safe in an area where you're kind of protected.
You don't
from
have
no
shutters
windows.
on. Do you do the shutter kind of thing?
No, my house doesn't have hurricane shutters.
Interesting. Okay.
If I had them, I'd put them on, but
Yeah.
but my house doesn't have them.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
our house didn't lose power. Our house, knock on wood, rarely loses power during storms. I think because our electrical lines are underground.
Underground. Yeah.
I had friends in Miami that got the outer band from the storm. They lost power. We had friends in Orlando that caught the outer bands.
Go figure.
They lost power. We had friends in Atlanta that got the brunt of the storm. They lost power. So I said, honey, had we left and gone to Miami, Orlando, Atlanta, we would be without power, stuck, unable to come home.
Right.
And so I tend not to panic. I tend to watch the weather reports. I tend to watch the NOAA reports. I tend to kind of understand what's going on and try to be safe. Know where the safe spaces are in your house. Know where the things are.
The basement is not available. Oh, that's right. We don't have basements in Florida.
We don't have basements. So I tend not to panic. What about you?
So I'm originally from the up east here, New York. So when we moved to Florida 7 years ago, around that time, yeah, we panic about everything, because we're not used to it. You guys seem to be like, bring on the storm. So when there's any type of we're going to get some high winds, and high winds, 45 miles an hour could be high winds. But when we start talking cat 1, cat 2, cat 3, we panic where it's like, okay, but we're in this boat where we don't have family, right? We don't have anywhere to go. The only option we had, my daughter was at UCF, so there was Orlando, possibility there. But she would get tons of rain and get tons of kind of pushback from a storm standpoint. So we are those that maybe stock up on ice, stock up on water. We stock up on some snacks because my wife is she's a panicker. I love you, honey, but you do panic too much about this kind of stuff. But it's good to be prepared, right? We have some propane gas, some backups, things like that. I did learn that you probably shouldn't leave your grill and things like that out in the patio because it seems like it does get pushed around. So I had a grill on its side after I think it was Milton or the one 2 years ago. So yeah, I kind of learned those lessons. It's a good idea to empty out the patio and put everything in the garage. But I'm getting better. I have to say, Shawn, I'm getting better in, the panic mode where it's like I'm not at Costco buying $400 worth of stuff and none of it includes batteries and water. There's no just in case shopping a few years into our lives here at Florida. But I have to say, it's the trade you do, right? Hurricane season does give you some panic, but you get some really nice weather in the other months of the year that kind of offsets that panic.
Yeah, and so I did look up the episode. Rich Fika is episode 69, way back
in the day.
Way back in the day. But he goes through some really good hurricane prep analysis in his episode. One of the tips I remember, I'll try to say on this one. I was also looking up, Florida used to have sales tax holidays, and Florida still does.
Still do, yeah.
But they used to have a sales tax holiday for hurricane preparedness, and it looks like something I just pulled up on the internet. In 2025, Florida lawmakers axed 2 hurricane tax holidays, opting instead to make some items sales tax-free year-round.
Okay.
That means instead of waiting for 2 weeks tax holidays to build your hurricane kits, you can buy certain items without sales tax at any time.
That's awesome. Okay.
So, there are some generators, for example, and some other things. But
do you need a do you have a generator? I mean, again, you're the long-time Floridian. Do you have a generator like us having 7 of them just in case one goes bad?
So, ironically, I do not own a generator.
Well, again, you have a house that stays forever on. So
we've had power outages, but they haven't really lasted too long. Now, what I did do was when I went into this year's Boy Scout season, I went to Best Buy and I bought a little power bank. and so it's got enough energy to
Like a battery?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
one of
like-
those nice. Okay, cool.
Right.
That's a good idea.
It's got enough energy to charge my phone.
Yeah.
When I'm at campouts, I have a little fan that a little USB fan that blows on me. It's got
Nice.
the power to do that. I don't know that it would have the horsepower to power a
Like
refrigerator.
a refrigerator.
I don't
That's
think
probably
so.
not long. It probably could do it, but just not long.
Right. And you mentioned, the grill. I've got the green egg at home. The green egg is 300-400 pounds. The only thing that's moving that is
Not even you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what I have done before when storms are approaching is I've kind of rolled it into a corner of the back patio so that the wind can't get enough leverage to try to move
lift
it.
Yep.
I guess theoretically it could still fall down, but then one thing I did during one of the storms a couple years ago, I rolled the green egg into the front yard and had the neighborhood come over. And those of you that have lost power, that have food going bad, come and cook and
That's nice.
do whatever, and fired up the grill and made a party out of it.
Love it. It's one of those kind of things when we talk about prep is having water, having certain items, batteries, flashlights, testing them out. But I think most of us run into the problem that we actually don't test these things out, right? So we have the flashlights, but the battery busted in the flashlights. You got to be careful with some of the things when we talk about prep for these. But the one thing that my wife and I really focus on is, some of the food, dry food for the pets, for ourselves. Water, I think we do go a little crazy sometimes when it comes to the water, because it's like, well, what if we lose running water? I was like, I don't think we've ever experienced that, but it is something that we definitely we definitely want to make sure we prep for. So again, that's just us coming from New York, where it's like any type of failure, power failure, or water not being available, we're boiling water, we're having water for those types of things. So it's just again, that's just the scared part of me growing up, where it's like, ooh, we've had those in New York, but not here in Florida. But again, you have to make sure you have those things in place. But I don't know for me, it's like just check the batteries within the flashlights. I think sometimes we forget, like, oh, wow, you're not supposed to leave the battery in the flashlight for 4 years because, all of a sudden it's busted open.
I learned that from camping, is that I went to go test one of our flashlights to go out on a camping trip. Or no, we'd been on a camping trip. This is when my son first started Cub Scouts. We'd been on a camping trip. We came back from the camping trip. It was the last one of the year. I left all of the flashlights with all the batteries in and just stored it in the closet. We went to go start the next year to do, and two of the flashlights broke because the batteries had corroded the contacts.
Oof, no good.
So but now I take the every time. I don't
every time
any electronics.
I agree.
The other thing too, you don't have to worry about electronics if you have candles.
That's true.
You just got to worry about matches.
Yeah, but you got to worry about fire too.
Fire too.
Come on now, Floridians and fire. Come on, I don't know.
Well, and speaking of being safe, if you do have a generator, run it outside.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And then get an extension cord. In fact, one of the things that Rich suggested in his show, which I've taken into consideration even to today, is that you buy one of those power strips, and if you have a generator, you plug the power strip into the generator, and now you're the hero of the neighborhood,
right? Because
now you've got an extra 6 outlets that people can come
in and just power
their phones and whatnot. And again, if you're gonna, I've even seen people that run their cars. Make sure your car is filled up with gas.
Yes, that's big time.
They run their cars. Just don't run the car inside. Make sure it's
you mean like the garage?
Right.
Yeah.
Make sure it's well ventilated if you want to run the car to charge your stuff.
But that's where we go into panic mode, and it's like it's good to be prepared, but you still have to use some common sense. Please, again, leave the garage open, have the generator outside. Yes, it's meant to be outside even in bad weather. So I think these are just little things we tend to forget when it comes to that.
And at the end of the day, if you don't feel safe, go somewhere.
Yeah.
Go somewhere
If
you
you
feel
have
safe.
the option, for sure.
Right.
But again, hotels are going to be packed, depending on the severity of the storm. I agree. Going up 75 to go to Atlanta or try to go to South Carolina or any of those, they're used to it when we talk about, avoiding the storms. But yeah, for me, I don't have that option. So I do technically, I can visit my brother in Atlanta, but I'm like, I've already, you've taught me well in a sense, like, unless I see cows flying around, from the result of the storm, I think we're going to be okay.
It reminds me of the movie Twisters.
Yeah.
Where it's, look, there's a cow. And then another one, look, another cow. And he's like, nope, same cow.
So there you go. So I think these are the little things. I like the, but is there a hurricane kit that you can put together when it comes to, being prepared? What can we do with our money?
I would definitely say have some cash
Yep.
in your hurricane kit. And I know that we are more moving to a cashless society, but if a hurricane does come through and shuts down,
Especially as a business.
shuts down internet, shuts down, some of this other stuff, you're going to need cash to buy stuff.
Yep.
And, hey, girl math, if you don't need the cash to buy stuff, everything else you want to buy after that is free.
It is free anyway.
But what I was going to say is
In trouble.
if you don't use the cash, just deposit it back into the
Put it back,
bank
yep.
when the electricity and the internet come back.
I agree.
They don't allow you. I've talked to my banker about this, and she won't budge. They don't allow you to deposit cash by taking a picture of it like they do a check.
Okay.
You can take a
Yeah.
picture of a check and
Yep.
deposit it. Banks won't let you do that with cash.
That kind of makes sense, but okay.
I don't get it. I want to be able to do that. So,
yeah.
no, have some cash on
Yep.
you. The other thing that I've done, take pictures
Yes.
of all of your personal documents, and also take all your personal documents and put them in one of those airtight freezer bags.
Yep.
That way, if there's a flood,
You don't lose.
You don't lose it. You could also put stuff in your washing machine or in your dishwasher.
Interesting.
And again, you don't want to run them, but like
don't forget the stuff in it.
But remember that the dishwasher is watertight.
Yep.
The washing machine's watertight. The dryer, I think, is watertight.
Yep.
So
That's
if you're
a good
worried
idea.
about stuff being damaged, you can put them in. Just don't run 'em.
Remember that they're in there before you run.
What is that clunking in the dryer?
Clunk, clunk, clunk. Oh, that's my keys.
It's my computer spinning around in the dryer.
I would say two things from a kit standpoint when it comes to money. The insurance, right? So know your deductibles. It's funny how, what's your insurance cover, what it's not covering.
Know where your policies are. I'll get
What
even
are your
more
policies?
basic than that.
I would agree. If you have that information, those copies of the documents so that you can reference them. I also recommend pictures before the storm because again, if something happens to the roof, to the siding, to the fence, something of that nature, you can have the before and then after photos so that you're not being talked about in like insurance fraud or any of those kind of things that come up when it comes to claiming if you have to go down that road.
Now, if you use your phone, and I think even digital cameras today will time and date stamp
Correct.
the picture, so you have evidence for the insurance company. The other thing that I've done is take a video.
Yes.
Today is June 4, and this is my living room, and there you see my TV,
Yep.
and there you see my couch, and here's the rug, and here's this, and here's that. And that way it's all on the video.
Yep.
But then what you need to do is you need to upload that video to the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So if your phone is damaged in the
Correct.
storm, you still have access to it in the cloud.
Love it. It's funny how this is the time to prepare for a lot of those kind of things. You said gas, right? Fill the cars up with gas when there's a storm. We know a few days. It's not like all of a sudden there's a storm that comes out of the Gulf or anything like that. So when there's time to prep.
I thought of a business idea.
Oh, go ahead.
I will lease you. I will rent you for, I don't know, $20, $50.
Okay.
One of my watches.
Huh?
You can take a picture of it. And then when the storm comes through, you make an insurance claim.
Oh my God! You just put yourself in frauds. So we're gonna edit the last 5 minutes.
I am joking.
Woo!
I am not.
I do like it, though.
I am not condoning insurance fraud. Do not do that. That is a very bad idea.
This guy. Okay, so we'll continue to refill your gas tanks, refill your prescriptions. Because, again, if there's any outages, you need to be able to make sure certain things are already in place if there is an extended period of
That's
outage.
a good point. If you're in need of certain prescriptions and you know a storm is coming, renew them early enough and go talk to your pharmacy, talk to your doctor to say, look, I know I've got 15 days left, but this storm is a week out, and if it knocks us out for 2 weeks, I have no medicine.
Yeah.
And so definitely renewing, refilling your prescriptions would be a great idea. Make sure you've got a handheld can opener. That way you can get non-perishable foods. You can still get in it. If you don't have a generator to plug in an electric can opener, you can still get in it.
Yep.
Make sure you get foods that are not
Perishable.
easily spoiled.
Especially if the refrigerator, again, you lose power, the refrigerator, goes out. You obviously want to move anything that's in the refrigerator into the freezer. That if you have space, because it at least lasts, those kind of items last a little bit longer. One tip my wife put in we have like a freezer in the garage. Mm-hmm. She put some bags of ice in the bottom. So again, we lose power. It does extend the life of the freezer, with the bags of ice in there. So again, it gives us some extra time. So just little tips to kind of prep for a major power outage.
I do the same thing, except what I do is when we get done drinking a bottle of water, when we get done drinking a bottle of, I get the iced teas and whatnot.
Sure.
When we get done with those bottles, we refill those bottles with water. We put them in the freezer
Nice.
rather than filling up the baggies. Same concept.
Same concept. Love it.
But then I fill up enough of them that I can even put some in the refrigerator. That way, if the refrigerator loses power,
You've got that
there's
too.
still the ice in there.
Smooth.
The other thing that you can do if you do decide to leave the house, and let's say you leave the house, everything's fine. You come back to the house, everything's fine. How do you know that your freezer and refrigerator didn't turn off because of a lack of electricity while you were gone? Or if they did turn off, how long were they off?
Yep.
What I'll do is I'll take a cup of water, I'll freeze it, so solid ice.
Yep.
Then you take like a penny, if you can still find any, or a coin or a nickel, a quarter, whatever.
Sure.
Put it on the top of the top of the frozen water on the cup.
Yep.
When you come back, if that coin has sunk at all, that means the water melted. Even though it was in the fridge or the refrigerator, it got warm enough in there for the water to melt. And then depending on how far
down
the coin sank, you can tell how long the power was out. If that coin's all the way at the bottom of the cup, I would throw the food away.
Yeah.
The power was out for way too long. If that coin is just barely covered with another layer of ice, you're probably okay with your food.
Right, just depending on how far down. That's a great idea.
That's a way to know how long was the power out,
especially when you're away from that. Well, the other thing too, we tend to overspend, right? So what's some of the overspending for the storms, right? If you lose power and you've overspent on groceries, like overbuying for groceries in prep for, you're right. Depending, do you want a certain amount of meats, things like that? You want to be careful in regards to things that could go bad. So prior to a storm, it's more of like, what can we have in the cupboard that allows us to be able to still eat and have some food without having to, like, eggs and meats and fruits and things like that maybe require that cold.
Protein bars, granola bars, dry cereal.
Yep.
All of that kind of stuff. But what about, so we've talked a lot about how personally to get ready. What would you recommend to a business that has a storm approaching?
Well, can your business, operate remotely? So depending on your business, can you do it from home? Can you do it from anywhere? Can you do it from your phone?
Can you do it from fleeing to Atlanta for sanctuary?
I'd like that too. Do you have backup internet options? Because again, if you lose power, if you're at home or home in the business, if your internet, your router's not on, I'm assuming you're not going to have internet. So again, what's your backup? Do you have backup generators specific to powering a laptop, a screen, things like that, your phone system? So those are all understanding, those kind of things. Is your payroll system protected? Right? Again, do you still need to, am I getting cash only, or do I have a way to be able to collect it via my phone through Square, things like that? So, our records backed up. You talked about backing up personal documentation, but I'm assuming if you have a certain business, how they backed up and where they available, during the storm and after the storm. And cash is cash. I guess cash is still king. Even if you have a business, do you have that emergency cash liquid so that you can use it in case you're not able to get to your phone or your bank?
I also think I like the creating an employee communication tree.
Love it.
When the last storm, so we were lucky last year, and I do think this is kind of dangerous. I don't think we had any named storms come anywhere near Tampa Bay last year, which with the year prior with Helene
we had
and
like
Milton,
3 in a row.
We got hammered.
Yeah.
But in Helene and Milton, I live probably about 25 to 30 minutes away from the office. I have employees that live 5 or 10 minutes away from the office. So it was real easy to text them and say, hey, how are you doing? They said, we're fine. I said, okay, cool. Can you drive by the office and see if the office is okay? And they did, and the office had sustained. Well, I lost my desktop computer, so that's why I switched to a laptop.
Yeah.
But other than that, the office came through those 2 storms fine. There was no damage to the office. Just like where your personal policy is. Make sure you know where your business insurance policies are.
And again, don't have the misunderstandings. What is covered? What is not covered?
Right.
How does it support you? How does it support your employees? So all of those things as well. Great.
The other thing we used to do, I remember we were the firm that brought me here to Tampa Bay. We were on, I want to say, the 4th or 5th floor of the building that we were in. I think we were the top floor of that building.
Sure.
And even though we were way up high, way above sea level, we still took the computers off the floor and put them on the desk and covered them with garbage bags. In the event a window broke and rain came in, the electronics would all be protected. So similar to how you would bag up personal documents, you could also, if you had any important documents at the office, you could put those in freezer bags, or you could put, like I said, garbage bags over the computers, any electronics, get them up off the floor and on the desk.
Yeah.
So you could do that kind of stuff as well.
I mean, here's the funny, you can make fun, right? It's like, do you do it for Cat 1, Cat 2? I mean, obviously Cat 3, 4, and 5, maybe, but like, where's your, limit where you're kind of like, well, if it's Cat 1, not a big deal. Like, we can, weather the storm without too much. I would be like Cat 1 and done. Tropical storm, I'm already panicking, so I'm already doing my survival kit. But what's your take on that?
Personally, I don't start to panic until we get to Cat 3.
Okay.
When we get to Cat 3, that's when I get concerned. Or maybe if it was a Cat 1 or 2 that was coming right for... I remember one year there was a hurricane track that literally the center line, which is never accurate, but the center line went literally right over my house. Mm-hmm. and that one I was a little nervous for.
Sure.
But I really wouldn't. A Cat 1, a Cat 2 that's projected to go somewhere near us, that's going to be a lot of wind and rain. I wouldn't worry about that. A Cat 3 maybe is when I start to get a little bit more
75 to 90 mile an hour winds, things like, okay, that makes, I mean, I'm starting to get that feel as well, because when we got the Cat 3s, that was a different type, Cat 3, Cat 4s, those are different types of storms. So I totally, but I'm learning that,
Well, what doesn't go bad in the aftermath of a storm?
What's that?
Bourbon, rum, vodka.
Store those away. Have the emergency kit for the cigars and bourbon.
Cigars don't go bad. So I promoted drinking, smoking, insurance fraud. What else can I do on today's show?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, dude. We got to talk.
And again, just for the record, I do not promote insurance fraud.
He's joking.
That was totally a joke. Do not follow that advice.
Oh my goodness.
So you feel a little bit better? You feel like you're a little bit more prepared for this year's hurricane season?
I'm prepared. I'm hoping that we get lucky again where it's not too bad of a season. We need the rain, so I'll take the rain. But I would say, I'm not as we're prepared. I mean, we still have our batteries. We'll have what we need. I'll let Christine. She'll listen to this episode and she'll start feeling a lot better on getting ourselves ready for the hurricane
she'll
season.
Just be mad at me.
Probably. She'll probably take the insurance advice, but we'll see. You might get a give me a picture of the watch, but that's another story.
So the thing I'm reminded about with hurricane season, the comedian Ron White.
Yeah.
Blue Collar Comedy Tour.
Absolutely.
He does this bit where he says, the big issue with a hurricane, it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. Because it can take, that's why you're supposed to clear off your back patio.
Yeah.
It can take, a little stone that, normally would be no big deal, and it can hurl it like a bullet.
Yeah, and that could be the damage to your house, someone else's house.
It's not the wind and the rain that caused the damage to the house. It's what's blowing around in the wind and the rain that caused
just
the
like
damage.
tornado, same
to,
thing. Yeah,
to the house, to the business, to the whatever.
I'd agree.
If you want to help us get our hurricane fund ready, you can always go to patreon.com/crushingdebt. That will help us actually improve the show. We're not going to use that for hurricane supplies. We'll use that to improve the show. Again, patreon.com/crushingdebt. As we are now into June, the 2026 Pan Can Walk has officially ended. You can still support Pan Can. You can still support pancreatic cancer. We will start up with the 2027 walk probably in a couple of months. We'll start up with that. Other than that, the other thing that I'm excited for, the other thing that typically comes out the beginning of June, are all the preseason football magazines.
all the stuff getting you ready for the new season.
The NFL magazines.
The schedules are out now. Everybody's starting knowing where who's fighting what, and how bad our teams are going to be this season. So there's a lot of hope for that. But I get you. The dog days of summer is coming. So love it.
But if you have any questions about hurricane season, reach out. Let us know.
Yeah.
We're here to help. Hopefully, everybody.
Maybe we should get Rich Fika back. We could get a nice little episode there.
I'm sure he'd love to come back on and talk about hurricane preparedness. Absolutely. And stay safe during hurricane season.
Absolutely.
Don't panic.
Yes, please. And don't panic spend.
Right. Don't panic spend, and don't panic.
Yes.
But I think that will do it for this week's episode. We hope that you have more money at the end of the month rather than at the end of the money. And we'll talk to you in next week's episode.